You guys remember listening to Let It Go, but in all 50 different languages?
Okay.
Like we'd watch it and be like, let it go, ya no puede
Hello.
ser.
Hello.
And it'd be like, song, 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 sing, song.
It's not on.
This is Chad's mic. This is Chad's mic.
What if I'm Chad?
Chad doesn't have a mic.
He's not up there.
He's not up there.
Here I stay, and here I stand. Let the cold say on.
What song should I sing?
We Will Rock You.
No. What song? Give me a better song.
That is the best. That's the best song.
I don't like that one. I will save that.
And then when you're done,
Forever tomorrow.
Good morning, boot camp. I think most of y'all sound like you're still sleeping, so we're gonna try that again, okay? Are y'all awake? All right, let's try it again. Good morning, boot camp. All right, hey, who had a great day yesterday? Raise your hand if it was a great day. It's always a great day when you're in the house of the Lord, when you get to be with his people, when you get to share the good news. And guys, we got more and more days of that. But this morning, y'all have eaten some great breakfast. You've spent some time in the Word with your team. And now we're going to move on to something even more exciting. And so here's what I need you to do. We're going to start off welcoming our mock club team, Team 33, and we're going to do it this way, okay? We're going to start off with a slow clap, like this, and then it's going to build up over time. So we're going to go.
Check. What up, y'all? How are you guys doing? Are they on?
hello? How's everybody doing this morning? Okay, so not very good. How's everybody doing this morning?
All right, I'll switch. All right, welcome to day 2 of boot camp.
Woo!
Y'all's energy is like crazy.
Booyah!
We're gonna try that again. Welcome to day 2 of boot camp.
Really?
Yeah.
Booyah! Booyah!
All right, y'all. Well, we are so glad to be back with y'all. We had a lot of fun yesterday, didn't we? Yeah. And if you're new today, we're going to be having even more fun. I'm Keegan, and I like drums. This is the rest of my team.
My name's Jordan, and I'm lactose intolerant.
My name's Braden, and I don't know, I couldn't really think of a fact.
He doesn't like anything, actually.
But, I still like cows.
Okay. My name's Kaylin, and I'm a ballerina. Yep, that's my sister.
Okay, my name's Emma, and I like chocolate ice cream.
My name's Erin, and I think Apple is better than Android.
Solid. All right. Who brought a friend today? Let me see y'all's hands. Who brought a friend today?
You got a friend and me.
All of y'all
brought
should
a
be
friend?
raising your hands right now. Nice. All right. Well, for that, you guys are going to get a prize, and then we're going to transition into top 10.
Woo!
All right, guys, we're gonna do some top 10, so I need everyone to stand up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Booyah. Oh, timeout.
Yep. You got it.
I had
for
no
everybody.
idea y'all had a chant for that. Okay, so everyone stand up right now.
Oh, we should do two.
Oh.
We should do two.
Y'all too. There you go. All right. Since y'all are still a little sleepy, we need to get y'all moving. So I want everyone to do 5 jumping jacks.
Pierce, I need to see you jumping, bud. There you go.
All right, I think we might have to do that again, but this time I'm gonna make it 10 because I saw some inactivity. All right? 10 jumping jacks.
5, 6, 7,
There you
8,
go.
9,
I like the
10.
movement. All right. Are y'all awake now? Are y'all awake now? All right, well, that was a cool top 10. Now we're gonna do the skit, and Kaylin's gonna join me. Well, no, yeah, Kaylin's doing the skit.
Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Wheel Unfortunate, where the contestants don't get a choice and the prizes are unfortunate. My name's Kaylin, and I'll be your host for today. Are you ready to see who your contestant will be? Yeah. Again, are we ready to see who our contestant will be? Yeah. All right. I don't have a hat, but let's turn to the hat. Oh. Brayden, looks like you're gonna be our contestant for the day. Why don't you come on down, Brayden? Brayden, tell me, are you excited to be here today?
No, I'm a little nervous. I'll tell you why. I just thought the wheel would be a wheel of fortune that would provide for all my hopes and dreams. You know, like I really, really needed a new sports car and a vacation to Hawaii.
Okay, buddy. There's a lot of things in life we need, and a lot of things we want, and I'm pretty sure you don't need a fancy new sports thingamajig or a trip to Hawaii, but you know what I need? Right now, I need you to spin that wheel.
Goes on it.
Oh, wow, look at that. Looks like Brayden will be lip syncing Let It Go from Frozen. Take it away, Brayden.
Wow, Brayden. That was unfortunate that so many people just had to watch you sing Let It Go. I'm so sorry about that. Well, guys, I hope you guys are ready to hear a super awesome story because I have a really cool story for you guys. But before I get into that, does anybody have a story they can tell me about a time when you were really, really hungry? Anybody? Story time with Aaron. This morning. When was the time you were so hungry? This morning? Are you still hungry? Why aren't you hungry anymore? Yeah, because you had food. Isn't that amazing how food makes you not hungry? That's so cool. All right, well, I remember one time where I was swimming at a pool where you swim, and I was swimming for like 3 hours where I kind of got distracted and didn't think about how hungry I was because I was having fun. But man, when I got out of the pool, the hunger hit me like a train, and I was so hungry, I just ran inside and saw my mom making fresh biscuits, and it was so awesome because they were like the best biscuits of my entire life, and I wasn't hungry anymore when I ate them. But anyway, enough about me. Let's get into our story. Today, we are telling you guys a story about Jesus and when he encountered some very hungry people, and we're going to learn what Jesus did and what that means about him and how he provided for them. So you guys ready? Yeah. Are you guys ready? Perfect. So our story is found in John chapter 6, and it starts in verse 1. And it says, "After this, Jesus went away to the other side of the Sea of Galilee, which is the Sea of Tiberias. And a large crowd was following him because they saw the signs that he was doing on the sick. Jesus went up on the mountain, and there he sat down with his disciples." So at the beginning of our story, we see that Jesus and his disciples were on a boat, and they were going across the Sea of Tiberias. And we see that a crowd that was following Jesus all day long didn't want to stop following them, so they went around the sea to continue following them. So let's keep reading. It says, lifting up his eyes then, and seeing a large crowd was coming up toward him, Jesus said to Philip, "Where are we to buy bread so that these people may eat?" He said this to test him, for he himself knew what he would do. So we see that Jesus saw this crowd had been following him all day long, and it was kind of around dinner time, so they were probably getting really hungry. So he asked Philip, hey, how should we feed these people? Like, they're going to be really hungry. What should we do? But Jesus already knew what he was going to do, so he just wanted to see what Philip's answer would be. So let's see what his answer was. Philip answered him, 200 denarii, which was their money back then, worth of bread would not be enough for each of them to get a little. So Philip's answer was, Jesus, we don't have enough money to feed all these people. Even if we had enough money from like a whole year's of work, we would not be able to have enough money to feed this amount of people. So let's see what Jesus is going to do. Verse 8, it says, one of his disciples, Andrew, Simon Peter's brother, said to him, well, there's this boy here. He has five barley loaves and 2 fish, but what are they for so many? So Philip's answer was, we don't have enough money. And Andrew's answer was, well, there's this boy. He's got some food. Maybe we could use that. All right, and then verse 10 says, Jesus said, have the people sit down. Now, there was so much grass in the place, so the men sat down, about 5,000 in number. Did you guys catch that number? There's about 5,000 people here, and that's just the men. That's not even including the women and children that might be there. So there might be around 20,000 people there that Andrew's like, 5 loaves, 2 fish. It'll be fine. Maybe we can like cut up all the food in like really small pieces, and it's kind of gonna be like Costco samples where everybody gets like one little toothpick worth of food. Maybe that'll work. It'll be fine. But I don't know, 20,000 people kind of sounds like you can't like cut it up small enough for that. So what is Jesus gonna do with just 5 loaves and fish? Well, let's see. The Bible tells us. It says, Jesus then took the loaves, and then he gave thanks. He distributed them to those who were seated, so also the fish, as much as they wanted. So let's see if we can recreate this here. So Jesus gave thanks, he prayed over the food, and then he just started distributing them. Distributing them to all the crowds. You can go ahead too. Until everybody had gotten enough food to be full. Jesus had fed everyone with 5 loaves and 2 fish. Isn't that incredible? Isn't that incredible? And if we even continue reading, it says, and when they had eaten their fill, he told his disciples, gather up the leftover food from the 5 loaves left. Ooh, I'm skipping around things. He told his disciples, gather up the leftover food that nothing may be lost. So they gathered them up and filled 12 baskets with fragments from the 5 barley loaves left by those who had eaten. So not only had he fed the massive crowd, but there was enough leftovers for even his disciples to eat. Isn't that awesome? So we see that this story is a miraculous story, and we see that Jesus is a powerful provider, and he provides what we need, things like food, shelter, and water, things that we need. And we're even going to find out, my friend Kaylin is going to tell us how he provides us a need that's even greater than things like food, water, and shelter, and that's the need to have a relationship with God. But before we get into that, I think we have some cool, not cool. Are you guys ready for some cool, not cool? Yeah? All right, let's do it, guys.
Yeah. What's up, guys? Wow, you guys are lacking in energy. Y'all are whispering. Come on. How are y'all doing? How are y'all doing?
That was a little bit better. All right, well, let's talk about today's story a little bit. You know how that dude brought the fish and the bread to Jesus? I think he should have brought Chick-fil-A so God could have multiplied that. Oh, yeah.
Chick-fil-A, seriously?
Yeah.
Homie, Chick-fil-A didn't even exist back then. And
Well-
2, the dude gave what he had. He gave from the heart. And God used it to bless thousands. That's totally cool.
That is totally cool. That is really cool that Jesus made a miracle right then and there, and he provided for them. He didn't tell them to go home and get some dinner and meet back the next day. He provided for their needs right then and there. I'd say that's super cool.
Yeah, agreed. Cool. And how about the fact that they were full and still had leftovers? That's totally cool.
Yeah, I know, right? I would have boxed them up and took them home.
Man, all this talking of food is making me a little hungry. I wish I could go home and just dig into some food right now.
Ooh, dude, that is not cool. You should give thanks to God before you dig into your food.
You're right. Give thanks to God before I eat.
Yeah, but you know what is super cool?
What?
All Out Sports Battles.
Yeah.
Which is right up next.
Come on, you guys. Let's give a big round of applause for Cool Not Cool. I love doing Cool Not Cool. All right, guys. I'm going to need you to stand up for this sports battle. Come on, y'all. Everybody up. Everybody up. I don't want to see anybody sitting. I see people sitting. Come on, Pierce. There we go. There we go. All right, once everybody's up, I want you to grab an imaginary baseball in your hand. Take this baseball and put it on the ground because baseball's not cool. We're not going to play baseball. I don't like baseball. Thank you, thank you. All right, you're going to grab an imaginary soccer ball, put it on the floor, make sure there's nobody in front of you, and turn around and kick it at Chad. Boom. Chad got pelted by soccer balls. Guys, that was amazing. Do a spin, and y'all can sit down. Thank you. Thank you for this battle that we had. All right, you guys, you're about to hear the most important story ever, so I want you guys to listen up. Thank you.
Guys, I was listening to Emma's story earlier, right? She was talking about loaves and fishes and loaves, and I'm getting really hungry. I just keep hearing about how Jesus fed 5,000 people, and I was thinking, I'm hungry enough to eat for all 5,000 people. So I went home. I grabbed some lunch bags from my mom, but she gave me all of these, and I've looked in them, and I don't think they're my lunch. And I'm gonna need some volunteers to help me because this doesn't look right to me. So I'm gonna have Jordan and Braden come help me. Woo! Yeah. Okay, so these lunch bags are very important because they tell me about something I need more than food. Now, food is very important, but you know what's even more important? Jesus. And we have our lunch bags. This yellow lunch bag reminds me of heaven. Do you know why? Does anybody? Oh, because in the Bible, it tells me that in heaven, the roads are shiny, like gold. And this reminds me of gold. But this bag tells me even more about heaven. There's some things inside here that I would actually like you to help me with. Could you pull one out? Wow, Jesus' face. Look at that.
What?
Jesus. It's Jesus' face.
In your lunch bag?
I guess so. Jesus is going to be in heaven with us and God. That's what reminds me of my lunch bag. In my lunch bag. What else? Oh, we have a Band-Aid, but it's blocked out. Oh, I remember. That's because there's no pain in heaven, so we don't need Band-Aids. Can you go to the next one out? There's also no tears in heaven because no one's sad. There's no reason to be sad because we're with God. Okay, Brandon. Look at that. There's other people. When I get to heaven, there's going to be other people who have also put their faith in Jesus. But there's something else in this bag. There's a heart. There's no sin allowed in heaven. But you know what, guys? That reminds me of my black bag. Because in my black bag, you want to pull out that one? In my black bag is what my heart looks like. My heart is full of sin, just like everybody's. And that's not good because God doesn't want that. God wants us to have clean hearts, right? So he did something really awesome for us. He gave down his son, Jesus, which reminds me of my red bag. Let's see what's in our red bag. Brayden? Ooh, we have a baby. So God didn't want us to be out of heaven with him, right? So he sent down his one and only son as a baby to come and live on earth. Oh. Wow. Oh, the cross. That reminds me because God sent his son down as a baby, right? He lived on earth and he lived a perfect life. But there were some people who didn't really like that. They actually hated him a lot. And they did something really sad. They nailed him on a cross and they killed him and he died. But there's something else. He didn't just die. There's an empty tomb. 3 days later, after he died, he rose from the tomb again, defeating death and sin. Isn't that awesome, guys? Ooh. Yeah, that's awesome. Give a round of applause. All right. Now, Jesus died for my sins, right? And I have a black, dirty heart. But I don't want that. I want a clean heart. And we do this. Here. Ooh, God gave us a gift, right? He gave his gift of his only son to die on the cross. And I would like to receive that gift. It's a free gift. And so I can do that through my ABCs. Does anybody remember what their ABCs are from yesterday? Yep, that is sin, right? Yeah, I forgot to mention that. But our ABCs is how we get the free gift. What's our A? Uh-huh. Perfect, yeah. So we admit, believe, and choose. So we admit that we're sinners, we believe that Jesus died on the cross for us, and we choose the free gift. And when we do that, we get a clean heart again, right? And so if anyone would like to do that, they can say a prayer with me. And it goes a little bit like this. It goes, Dear God, I admit that I'm a sinner. I believe that you sent your son, Jesus, to die on the cross for me, and I choose that free gift that you gave me. So if anyone would like to do that with me, I'll be over by the drum set.
10 to 15 seconds later. Guys, all right, just so you know, if you really want any questions, if you have any questions about your ABCs, the story we told today, or you just want to find out more about Kaylin, you can go right over there, and she'll be right over there to answer your questions. So go ahead. She won't bite. She has some pretty good information for y'all. All right, but Brayden, do you know what we're doing today?
I think I have an idea.
What's your idea, man?
Maybe a little gospel review game.
Gospel review game. Come on, y'all. Get hyped for the gospel review game. There we go. There we go. Now, dude, it was kind of weird. I feel like we were pulling stuff out of her lunch bag, and there's some gross stuff in there, man. But do you remember some of that
weird
stuff?
I really remember Jesus' face.
Yeah, I don't know why that was in a lunch bag. Her mom packing that is a little bit weird. But can you remind me what that meant? What was Jesus' face supposed to represent?
Jesus.
Oh, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I remember seeing like a kind of dirty Band-Aid in there. Do you remember what that was for?
I saw that too. That was because in heaven there is no hurt or pain.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense. Do you remember anything else that was in that bag?
What else could there have been? Oh, there was an empty tomb.
An empty tomb.
Yeah.
I don't know how she fit a whole tomb in her lunch bag.
Yeah,
she's
that
like
was
Mary
crazy.
Poppins. That's actually crazy. But wasn't it because Jesus rose again, and so when they uncovered the tomb, nobody was there?
That's right.
That's pretty awesome, guys. Well, I really appreciate you guys playing this gospel review game with us. We're going to go ahead and head into snack time. Woo! Woo!
All right, y'all. Didn't we have a lot of fun together? I need a little bit more from y'all. Didn't we have fun together? Yeah. All right, so a couple announcements. Wednesday is going to be Wet and Wild Wednesday, so bring your friends. We're going to be playing a bunch of water games, so bring your swimsuits and towels as well. And then Friday, we also have something called Summerfest. Do any of y'all know what Summerfest is?
Just the best day ever.
Yeah, it's an event at the church, kind of like a carnival. It's going to be super fun. We hope to see you all there. And then make sure to complete your challenge for tomorrow. And then now we're getting into the serious stuff. So.
Yeah, thanks for guys. We wanted to give you some tips from day one that we weren't able to. So one thing, like personally, I'm not the kind of person that can read a script and memorize it. I will probably tell that gospel different every single time I tell it. And so I know there's people like you, like me, who have the same thing. They just can't memorize a script like that. My tip for that is don't worry, just put the curriculum down. It's good to get it as close as you can because a lot of thought went into making the curriculum. So you want to get it as close as you can. But again, these kids don't know this script that you're reading. So if you mess up, as long as you're confident, they're not going to know. So just keep going with it and you'll be fine.
Yeah, and from the cool, not cool on the first day, we want to say that's not cool instead of saying you're not cool. Just because we don't want to make the other person feel bad or show the kids it's cool to say someone's not cool and all that. So we just want to say that's not cool instead.
And we know that is actually a line in the script that says you're not cool, but from feedback, we're yeah, let's not call people not cool.
And then also with the Bible story from day one, we just wanted to give you guys a couple of tips for presenting Bible stories. So when you guys are interacting with kids, especially with something like a story, make it super interactive. Try and bring the energy to the kids and so that they can participate and have a lot of fun with it because they want to listen, they want to be engaged with y'all, but you guys also have to act like you want to be presenting the Bible story. You have to act like you actually have gone through the experience, and you want to present it to them in that way. So get low, jump, raise your voice, whisper, do a bunch of stuff to interact with the kids because that's going to make them pay attention more.
Yeah, real quick. A big thing is that you're all a team. Even when you're in a skit or when you're performing a role with someone else, you're allowed to help the other person out. If they forget something, there's no rule that says Teen 1 has to stick to Teen 1, Teen 2 has to stick to Teen 2. If someone gets lost, you're allowed to help guide them. Or even if you're sitting in the audience, you could say, hey, what about this? Those 1 to 2 words help someone remember their line. So that's very helpful.
Yeah, and then for the gospel on the lunch bag gospel, if you do have kids come up, you're gonna have pictures that get out of order. We had the tomb come before the cross, and of course, the empty tomb doesn't mean anything if you don't explain the cross. So what you could do is you could just hand the kids pictures, or you could have your teammates pull them out if they know the order. So yeah, I would just keep that in mind. You could also just be oh, the empty tomb? I don't quite remember what that is. Maybe something in the lunch bag will help me jog my memory. And then that way you can still have the emphasis of what the empty tomb represents.
Last thing from us, if you go to PKW students, right?
PKWY students.
PKWY students. On YouTube, we made a tips and tricks video, and also we recorded day one. So you can watch those and rerun them, especially if you had to get reevaluated for day one. But that tips and tricks videos, it's 5 minutes long. Ask your captain to play it or don't. But yeah, thank you.
Yep. Hey, this has been Team 33. Out!
All right. Hey, Jared, would you come up here with me as well? Thank you so much. Appreciate you guys. Mod Club, we just want to have a few minutes to do Q&A. Jared and I are up here today with you. If there's any questions in the curriculum or if there's anything that you guys came up while they were presenting that made you ask questions, we just want to be able to help field some of those and do our best to answer. So anything that we can help you guys, captains or team members or exos, anything on day 2? Yes, Beverly. For the gospel, are we using the green bag in the curriculum? Yeah, so the green bag is something that happens if somebody comes to the tree and they're sincere in their faith and they come to believe in Jesus in that moment, you can use the green bag in that moment too with them to talk about how to grow in your faith. Yeah, I think that's how we are using it. Is that correct, Jared?
I don't know if it's used that way in the curriculum.
How is it used in the curriculum?
I think it's used in the curriculum as a part of the gospel presentation.
Yeah, and that's okay too. If I think we will have them, and say, hey, once we do, so on the front end, hey, once we do our ABCs, or you could say, hey, once like you have faith in Jesus and you're following him, there are some ways to grow, and green stands for growing. And some of those things are reading God's word to you. Some of those things are connecting to him through prayer. And so we started talking about those things. So either way is fine for me. I'm good with either. But we certainly want to bring it into that gospel counseling situation to help students learn to grow. So that's good.
Yeah, or if you have a club, like after day one, you realize, hey, these are a bunch of kids who already know Jesus and are following him, who love him. The green bag would be really important to talk about as like, hey, here's the next step to follow Jesus as his disciple.
Yeah, it's so good.
Question.
So in the story, Erin was reading from her Bible in the curriculum. Do you really want us to do like the switching? Because it felt kind of like jagged and choppy, and I didn't know if that was how it's supposed to feel or if we're supposed to have more interactions with the kids. It felt very monotone.
Yeah, no, I get it. Yeah, so you do want to read the scripture, but then engage right there. And so I think it could be. I think there's a way to do it that feels a little bit more fluid, for sure. And you definitely want to have as much interaction with the kids as possible, for sure. So I think you can still do that and read the text. One of the things I do that really, really helps, when I read the text, I'll get right in front of him. Like, guys, I'm going to read the text right here. Look, it says in 17. And then I might go around and say, Toby, here, just go to different parts of the crowd to help engage them. The whole point is trying to find ways to keep their attention. But I think it's a very good thing to show children, hey, we're reading from the Word of God. And so I think for a couple of times, she may have lost her place, and which maybe to feel that way, but like you're just trying to work in a way not to lose your place. But it happens. It happens to all of us. So at times. So yeah, we still want to read from the scriptures.
Question.
So whenever we're moving on to the gospel review game, I know last year somebody said not to call it a game because that distracts kids from going to the tree. And do we want to get them excited, or do we want to keep it down low?
No, we don't. So yesterday we thought that was modeled really, really well. And so when we do the gospel review, call it the gospel review. That's what we want to see happen. In this kind of environment, sometimes we're trying to get you guys a little bit more energized, period. But no, for sure, when we are modeling this, when you guys go to clubs, like you had just invited somebody to have a conversation about the gospel, to consider eternity, to consider God, to consider who Jesus is. Like we don't want to in that moment. So, and now let's play a game. Like we don't. I mean, it's tempting. Every time we think game, we get excited. But we want to say, hey, we're just going to review the story together. So hey, sit down. And if you have any questions, I really, really encourage you, go talk to Erin or go talk to Jared, go talk to whoever, and they're waiting for you. They'd love to tell you more about that story because we're just going to sit here. I downplay it as much as I can. Like, this is going to be boring. I don't say that, but I'm just going to say we're just going to do a review. So yeah, we don't want to call it a game. That's a good thought. Yep.
Yeah, and reiterating, hey, if you have any questions, like saying that again, go talk to whoever gave the gospel presentation is important too.
Yeah, not just jumping, hey, we're going to do a review right now. No, just say, hey, let's go back. Yeah, it's good.
So are we only going to have the kids come and show the pictures out of the gold and the green bag, or all of them?
I think you guys can make that decision as a club. I think one of the things, as I was watching it, that I was thinking of that would be really helpful, and I think is to have maybe each student hold a colored bag. Like what if we grabbed a kid from the clubs and said, hey, you hold the gold bag, you hold the dark bag, you hold the red bag, whatever have you. And then, because the order you need to choose from. And you can have a team member who knows the order, pull it out. And that's what the mock club team was trying to talk about. But I would have, it's a little bit slower to have the kids pull them out, and they don't know the order. So it's best to have them hold the bag and you pull them out, or a team member pulls them out. Does that make sense? That kind of keeps it moving in the right direction. Yeah, it's good.
Hi, Chad. So,
hey, Mel.
I guess I was just kind of building off the other question, but is there a certain order that we have for every picture?
Is it in the curriculum, Jared, the order? Do you know? or other students, is there an order presented in the curriculum of when to pull them out? I'm getting a lot of head nods. If it's in the curriculum, I would just say, look at your curriculum. I thought it was, but I just wanted to make sure. I don't have it up here with me.
It looks like part of them have an order. Other ones don't.
Which ones have an order?
The red bag has an order.
Yeah. So the red bag. So here's the thing about the gold bag. The order about the gold bag is not super important. You're just describing different things in heaven, right? That's not super important. And then in the dark bag, I don't think it's super important. So I think when it comes to the red bag, though, and we're trying to get into the gospel message of the life and the death and the resurrection of Jesus, we want to go in that order. Jesus was born fully God, fully man. He came as a baby. Important. He lived a life. Then he died. Then he rose. Like the red bag is crucial. So I would say if anything needs an order, it's just the red bag. Does that sound right?
Yeah, good. Follow-up question.
So then what happens if we go out of order?
Then you get creative and you get back to it. I mean, like don't, but if you do, it would be weird to talk about it. Well, Jesus rose again, and if I've actually had this happen to me in a club, and here's the empty tomb. I'm like, oh yeah, I would just say, oh man, we're gonna come back to that. That was really exciting. Let me go get another one. You know what I mean? Like you want to stay in that order. Or else it just takes a little bit of creativity. Jesus actually rose again. Why did he have to rise again? Did you know what happened? He actually had to die on the cross. That's how I'd be creative with it. But try to stay in order the best you can. That's good. Any other questions? My friends.
Oh, here's one.
Nice pitch, Jared. That was good.
So whenever I tell a gospel, I kind of just tell the gospel and use whatever the gospel is, like whatever's provided, and kind of just orient it around that. But I know you said you want us to follow the curriculum, though, mostly. Like, the way they presented it, it felt really weird and short. It kind of cut off, and it didn't really feel like it was you know what I mean?
Sure.
Do you want us to really, follow the curriculum, or do you want us to tell...
So, I need y'all to understand the concept, that what Jordan was trying to say earlier, was there's a tension to manage. What we prefer you to do, and what's so much better to do. Am I up here with the script right now? No, I don't even know what you're going to ask. But I understand concepts. I know concepts that work. I have the idea. I've read the stories. I know the gospel. And so I know how to answer these questions. I know, there's a tension to manage. On one side, we'd say, don't memorize word for word the curriculum. If you try as a speaker, Jared knows this, if you try to memorize word for word what you're going to preach, what happens, Jared?
I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah, I'll tell you what happens to me for sure is I don't engage with you guys very much. And you can tell. When I'm trying to share something word for word, I'm not engaging with you anymore. I'm not engaging with the people around me. I'm just engaging with this idea in my head. And you can tell. And if I start talking to you guys like this or like that, you would stop listening to me very quickly. So it's a long form answer, Clay, but I don't want you to memorize it word for word. I want you to read the Bible story for the day. If you have a Bible story, go into your Bible, read the story, and understand the story inside and out. You'll be able to tell the story. If I got up here and told a really cool story that was really funny, you would be able to go and probably tell most of that story in a good way, right? I don't need you to do word for word. And yet, that's one side, and yet the curriculum was written very thoughtfully. So consider the ideas and the ways it was presented. But no, Clay, I don't expect you, if you have a more fluid way to make it sound, then use it. The people who wrote the curriculum are a combination of people, who are not perfect, right? And, as they review it, we would probably rewrite different words and things like that. So, no. Feel free to make changes, but keep the gospel message, to your point. And if you can do that better, then do it better. Does that make sense? Okay. That was a long answer. That's good.
I'm getting dizzy.
Keep going, Jared, faster, faster. No, this is really good. Hey, you guys are gonna do great. Y'all are doing an amazing job. Like, I know Jared and I, I'll speak for myself, yesterday going to the clubs, like, you guys understand this. And what we're asking you guys to do, we know is challenging, but the big thing we want you to take away is understand the concepts of what you're saying. Don't do word for word memorization. Share God's word. Share the life-changing message of the gospel. And when you talk to them, engage with them. Look them in the eyes. You guys got this. We believe in you. You're gonna have a great day. It's gonna be a great day. We're gonna have a good time.
Yeah. On that note about what we'll do today, everyone open up your booklet. We're gonna look at the schedule real quick and see all of what's going on today.